You know, the biggest thing I want to talk about too is some of the protection. Okay, again, scouts need to be 13. Anybody needs to be 13 to be on Facebook. BSA National Guideline, the gist of it is that when you're posting a photo of a scout, you need to have permission from the parents first. When somebody fills in their health form, there is a signature and a checkbox for publication, for having their child be in any type of photos for talent release. Okay, if the parent checks that, or if they don't, you need to be aware of that if you are in a unit. I have in my unit right now somebody that does not want their child to be photographed for some other personal family reasons. Okay, can it happen? Yes, it can, that accidentally somebody can be photographed or videotaped and put on Facebook. Here's what you have to do. You have to step forward and talk with that family, and you have to say, I realize you don't want to be photographed, but if we're taking a group photo of our unit, you also have to share in this responsibility and step aside. You have to be vocal and tell them that, because hey, the kid's going to forget.
So do we have to have another form now that the parents have to sign to
Nope.
say that we're going to be posting on Facebook?
No, the talent release form covers anything on the internet, which is Facebook, which is Twitter, which is everything, your website as well. Okay, so here's an example. I'm going to use Chuck here again. This is something that you shouldn't do with scouts. Okay, I'm going to click on this photo of Chuck, and his son Matthew is there, is in my troop. He's a youth. Okay, can I put his name there?
No.
Matthew. Okay, first name you can't, because John or Bill or Bob doesn't mean anything. Okay, but if I tag him, for those of you who aren't on Facebook, you can do what's called tagging. But I'm going to tag this photo. Chuck is already tagged. I tagged him before in this photo. Matthew is not. Now I'm not going to do this, but watch. All my friends are popping up right now. I am friends with Matthew, but if I were to tag him, I'm identifying him. And what happens with that photo is anybody who has that photo of any connection, 200 times 200, 64,000, will know that that's Matthew. I can't do that as a leader or as an adult scouter. If Matthew does that, he can do that. Okay? And it shows who tags who. The administrator of a page will know who tags who. And there is a setting that you can check to not let anybody tag, to get tags approval, or just let tags go. All right, so that's a safety feature. Yes?
Is this a BSA safety rule that as adult leaders, we are not to tag any boys in the troop?
Yes. Part of the social media guidelines is specifically Facebook with BSA National states that tagging and identifying with a last name is not acceptable.
But if the boys were to go in and to tag each other,
that's fine.
that's fine.
That's fine.
Parents are not to do that.
That's correct. That's correct. The other thing that's very critical.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Can we turn that feature off altogether when you're in the admin of the page?
You can. You can. There are more security and safety things that you can imagine. Okay? One of the things that you also have to understand is if you're doing a chat with somebody. I'm going to go back to Carol here, and let's say I wanted to chat with Carol. I have options. I could add a friend to the chat. This is very important, because if you are friends with a youth, BSA guidelines says that you should not be doing one-on-one communication. It's always too deep leadership. Okay? So how you would do this, I'm going to pretend Carol is a youth here. I'm going to enter a friend's name here. I'm going to enter Paul Meinke, sitting right over here. So now as I send this, I'm actually communicating with Carol and with Paul, and I'm going to add Pete over there just the same. Youth protection is great.
Okay, I have a question.
I have 3 people that just got that message right now. I've kept myself too deep leadership. I've kept myself away from being individually with a scout. Okay?
So you cannot email a youth?
You can if you CC another adult leader.
Every single time?
That's BSA rules on that.
We
Yes.
didn't know that.
The social media guidelines have been updated very recently, so you may not have looked
Where do we find the
recently.
new social media guidelines? Because I'm telling you, we do not CC another adult. We just email.
You should be doing that.